Rachel Zegler and her views on Snow White have triggered many Disney fans during her short career. Today, let's find out how Rachel Zegler is destroying Disney. Let's get started. When Rachel Zegler was discovered, she seemed to be the next big thing after Jennifer Lawrence. Rachel's a good actor, and she has an amazing voice and can sing really well. Soon enough, she was in great demand. She was in the Hunger Games prequel, got a role in a superhero movie, and even got a Disney princess role. But when Rachel revealed that she would be a part of the Snow White film, she and Disney got caught in a controversy. Rachel stated that it was amazing to have Snow White being played by a Hispanic actor. Since Snow White was a famous character whose story was told all around the world, it was great to see some diversity in the casting. She told Variety magazine that the story was due an overhaul because it was dated. She said, "I just mean that it's no longer 1937. We absolutely wrote a Snow White that she's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's going to be dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true." But the issue is that the 1937 version of Snow White is beloved to some people, and to them, any version of Snow White that deviates from the 1937 version would be an inferior product. Nobody disagrees that it is iconic and the animation's great. Furthermore, it showcases some pioneering advancements made by Walt Disney by incorporating color, sound, and character growth. But why can't Disney remake the Snow White? So it comes down to the question of who really owns a work. Is it the studio or the audience? Just because one version of a movie was great, doesn't mean that remakes have to tread the same path. Are creators not allowed to reimagine a movie? And that's where Rachel has a point. The version from 1937 was appropriate for its time, but there are some aspects that seem dated. To retell the story to a modern audience, it is necessary to change certain elements. Rachel and the writers felt that the story was due a feminist retelling that was modern and didn't conform to dated gender tropes, and that's how you make a movie relevant to the 2020s and future generations. The 1937 version is always going to be a masterpiece. It is. Now, let it compete against the modern retelling. Netizens were not happy with this modern retelling of the classic story, and it seemed like Rachel was being harassed by some sections of the internet. Then a video surfaced where Rachel was seen sobbing and claiming that people were making death threats. She said, "I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats, and maybe that's a weird takeaway for this video. I have a life filled with a lot of beautiful moments and beautiful people, but it's hard. It's lonely. It's very lonely." Despite such a heartfelt statement, Rachel got very little sympathy, and some internet citizens started to label her as the most unlikable actor in the world. One ex-user wrote, "Rachel Zegler, the new Snow White, is the most unlikable actress I've ever heard. She hates her Snow White character, and after she came out against the original movie, she's now crying over the backlash." And that's how Disney got itself amidst a culture war that's been going on for years. So on one side, there are staunch traditionalists who don't want any changes to the story of Snow White, while others want Snow White to be remade. Rachel has had her share of misfortune during her short career. In her debut project, West Side Story, directed by Steven Spielberg, her co-star was Ansel Elgort. Ansel was accused of sexual misconduct and the movie didn't do well, but her outing as Lucy Gray Baird in Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was much better. Fans also had issues with her recent partnership with Dior, calling it repulsive. Many internet citizens claimed that she was subject to whitewashing. They claimed, "The whitewashing is intense. Why did they make her 5 shades whiter than she actually is? She's beautiful, no question, but the whitewashing is crazy." All this backlash was over a photo where Rachel was on the red carpet and she looked a bit fairer. And that's a wrap. What do you think of Rachel Zegler's effect on Disney and the Snow White fandom? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.